Hey, how are you doing? Bill DeWeese here from voice-over-training.org. And if you live here in the United States, I want to wish you a very happy Memorial Day weekend as we head into this long 3-day weekend. And even if you're not here in the U.S., I hope that you have a great and relaxing and wonderful weekend over these next couple of days. And I wanted to take a few minutes before we got into the weekend to talk to you about something that comes up a lot in my training and coaching and consultations with voiceover talent. And there are a couple of questions that I'm consistently asked. And one is, do I have the talent? Do I have the ability? Do I have the raw talent and skills to be able to make it as a voiceover talent? That's probably the most asked question. And then second after that is, what should my niche be? What should I focus on? And I understand that question because as a former business consultant and marketing consultant, I understand that from a marketing perspective, it can be very beneficial and helpful to identify a niche so that instead of just diluting your efforts, you become very focused in your efforts. But I want to share with you, based on my experience and the experience that I have in coaching and helping many others develop their voiceover careers, how I believe you should approach finding your voiceover niche. And let me say, first of all, you shouldn't over-concern yourself with it when you first begin. In other words, I would highly recommend against beginning a voiceover career, and the first question you set out to answer is, what is my niche? Because in all honesty, it's virtually impossible to identify before you actually get started. And let me share with you why. What you will find is that oftentimes what you think, or what even a qualified coach such as myself may think, may not actually be what the marketplace, how they see you and how they interpret you and how they decide to use you. Understand that in any kind of a business situation, the marketplace always rules. Ultimately, the marketplace makes the final decision. And that includes your niches and what you may be best at. And somebody like myself can give you a good idea. So we can certainly identify what your strengths are, and I can help you understand the areas in which you might best be suited. But understand that the marketplace will make that ultimate determination. Let me give you an example. Something that I did not see coming when I set out to become a voice talent was the fact that I would consistently be used by high-tech companies, Fortune 500, brand name technology companies. A bunch of them use me to do a lot of their technology-related training narration. Why? In all honesty, I have no idea. I would have never guessed it because, number one, I'm not particularly technology savvy. I mean, I know what I need to know, and I know the basics of a computer, and I know how to set up a computer to record. But the stuff that I'm talking about, I really don't have a clue, or very little of a clue, as to what I'm even talking about. But for some reason, companies like HP and Hitachi and Microsoft and Dell and Oracle and, keep coming back to me over and over again to do these scripts, of which, again, I really don't even know what I'm talking about. But the marketplace, for whatever reason, the marketplace feels that I present that information particularly well. So I'm hired for it again and again. So as you begin your career, here's my advice. You should begin with a shotgun approach. In other words, you should dabble in just about everything. You should begin to promote yourself and market yourself as a commercial talent, as a narration talent, as an audiobook talent, perhaps even become involved in marketing yourself for radio imaging and TV promo work, although that's a little more specialized. But, it's interesting. When I first started off, I didn't see myself as a TV promo voice, but, I've been used. There's a Fox affiliate that's used me. PBS has used me. I made the final cut. I was one of the top 3 choices to become the next major network voice for a big network. And I was not the final choice for that. But the point being, I didn't see myself as that. That's not how I viewed myself when I began my career as a voiceover talent. But the marketplace saw me that way. So again, my suggestion is that you always begin with a commercial demo, because a commercial demo will show the range of your abilities. And interestingly enough, most of the work that I'm hired for, regardless of what type of work, I'm hired based on the strength of my commercial demo. So always start with that as your flagship demo. But don't be afraid to do narration. Don't be afraid to do corporate narration, to do e-learning narration. Don't be afraid to do audiobooks. Don't be afraid to do commercials. And don't be afraid to try different kinds of commercials, because the truth is, you really don't understand. Even a great coach cannot fully anticipate the areas that you will develop as time goes by. And so, number one, you will begin to uncover certain areas of your life that, or certain areas of your talent that you didn't even realize that you had. And may find there's something you think you had, and maybe you didn't have, so much to begin with. But the other thing is that as time goes by, this is the second thing, is that you will begin to develop in areas. You'll begin to develop interests in areas, and you'll begin to expand and sharpen skills in areas that you never anticipated, because that's just life. That's the way things work. And the market will tell you whether you're good or not, whether they want you or not, by hiring you. If they don't hire you, if you're never hired for something, chances are you're not that good at it. If you consistently get hired for something, it's probably because you're pretty darn good at it. So again, don't stress out over the niche thing when you begin your career. Branch out, try a lot of different things. Allow the market to help guide and sharpen your career. In other words, don't fight against the marketplace. Go with it. And when clients begin to show you that they like you, that they value you for certain things, make sure that you continue to move down those paths that open. And again, it doesn't mean other doors won't open as time goes by. They certainly have for me, and they will for you as well. But when doors open, that means the marketplace is saying, hey, I think you're good at this. And you continue to move in that direction. Hey, I wish you all the best. And by the way, if you're starting off your career and you're saying to yourself, man, I just don't know, number one, if I have the skills, if I have the ability, the raw ability to do this, and I really don't know where to begin, I do offer a free initial consultation for people who sign up on my email list at voice-over-training.org to give you an initial evaluation of where you are at with your skills and your talent, and how I believe the next few steps that you could take to be able to move yourself in the direction that you want to into developing a voiceover career. If you want more information on that, well, one of two things. Go to my website and sign up on the email list, voice-over-training.org. Then drop me an email at voiceoverexpert@gmail.com, and we'll get that set up. Hey, all the best to you. I do hope you enjoy your weekend, and I'll talk to you soon.